just come out of the Anselm Kiefer show at the White Cube in Bermondsey. The show's called Finnegan's Wake. This is the third of 3 shows that he's had here in the past 8 years, and I've seen them all now, and I like Kiefer's work. The previous 2 shows have had 3D sculptural paintings, and he uses non-conventional materials, and they really come a long way off the wall, and I really enjoyed seeing them in the previous shows. But on the way I was wondering if they were going to be the same, and if it was actually going to be anything fresh, if it was a little bit predictable. The show's based on James Joyce's book Finnegan's Wake, and in fact at the entrance the show is presented as if it's a James Joyce Anselm Kiefer double act. So it's worth me just saying that I don't have a good relationship with James Joyce. I've tried reading Ulysses, and I've forced myself to read 50 pages. I found it so difficult to connect with it, and I just gave up. I think that one problem I have is that I read too literally, and I have the feeling that Joyce needs to be experienced rather than simply read, and I just haven't been able to find a way to do that yet. I've read that Finnegan's Wake is considered even more difficult than Ulysses. But on the way to the show I decided to listen to the opening section, and I actually enjoyed what I heard. What a strange book. But it did give me enough to add to my experience of the show. As I say, I was expecting 3D paintings, very sculptural, but it turns out that the whole gallery has been turned into a giant installation. It's like the work has come completely off the wall and filled the gallery floor to ceiling. Really something special. It feels like a fantastic evolution of the work as shown in the previous 2 shows here. It's a totally immersive experience, and it's using similar materials, kind of broken concrete, distressed metal. It's got a real second-hand storeroom feel to it. I did feel like I was in that opening section of Finnegan's Wake, so I think it definitely works. There's lots of quotes from the book, many of them are handwritten, which is kind of nice, and it just works. I always think that there's a risk in bringing someone else's artwork into another artwork, but this is just so successful. It definitely makes me want to listen to more of the book and then to come back. It's on until the 20th of August, so there's still time to catch it. As a final point, there's a very strong smell of oil paint throughout the installation, and it really gave me a kind of art school feel. Parts of it felt like the storeroom at art school, and it's an atmosphere that I know so well. I think this probably means that a lot of the show was made at the installation, so a lot of the paint is really fresh. I think if this was to be shown again in a few years, it wouldn't have such a strong smell. And in trying to relate the work to the book, I'm not sure that the evocation of art school was that helpful, but you know what? It's not a criticism. It added to it for me. I like the fact that it feels like this show has been just made. Overall, it's fantastic, and I highly recommend it.